In The Secret Agent in Brazil in 1977, we meet Marcelo, played by Wagner Moura, who is a technology expert in his early 40s, who is on the run. He arrives in North Brazil in Recife during Carnival week, hoping to reunite with his son, but soon realizes that the city is far from being the non-violent refuge that he seeks. The Secret Agent is directed by Kleber Mendonça Filho, who has previously directed films such as Aquarius and Buckaroo, and The Secret Agent just debuted at the Cannes Film Festival in the official competition. The Secret Agent is a film that I enjoyed for the most part, but I did find it a little bit indulgent, which I'll get to a little bit later. But the film is called The Secret Agent, but don't expect like a thriller or a spy type of film. It does have some excitement in the final 30 minutes of the film when Wagner Moura, he gets in, because there's some hitmen in the film after him, and finally these hitmen catch up to him in Recife in Brazil where he's staying, and in the final act of the film it does get quite tense at the end, but the first 2 hours of the film is quite slow paced, so don't expect like a fast paced type of film. The film is quite uniquely structured. In the first hour and so, we're just introduced to different characters and different plot lines, and we're not quite sure that why Wagner Moura is on the run. And then finally, in the middle of the film, Wagner Moura, he sits down in a room with a few other people who are protecting him, and finally he tells his whole story, and then everything that we've seen previously in the film all comes full circle. So everything comes full circle, and then finally we're in the present time, and finally we know the whole story and why he's on the run and why he's in hiding, and what stakes is there, and what's happened in the past, what's going to happen in the future. So the narrative structure of the film, you have to be a bit patient, just absorb everything that's going on, and finally by the second half of the film you understand what is going on. Wagner Moura in a central, he's very compelling, but for me this film was a little bit indulgent. The film is over 2.5 hours long, and I just thought didn't have to be that long. There's a lot of stuff that didn't really need to be in this film. Like there's this police chief. His character is very pivotal for the movie, but his police, for example, there's one scene where the police chief, he wants to show off to Wagner Moura like he's a big man in town. So he takes him up to see this a World War II veteran, a German World War II veteran played by Udo Kier, and it just felt like, oh, we have Udo Kier in our film, let's just use him. Like that's his character had made no difference to the film whatsoever. So I made it, and in the second half of the film, there's kind of a thread throughout the film where there's this shark human. So there's this human leg that was found in a shark. A shark found in the ocean, about 100 meters off the ocean in the beach, and they came to shore, and they had to cut out the human leg out of the shark. And then this human leg is kind of used throughout the film, and kind of as comical relief. And I don't really sure. Maybe I missed the context for this, but I just didn't really think that added too much to the story. And I don't know what it is about Brazilian movies, but they like to look at the past. And this is another film that has a prologue scene, maybe 10-minute prologue scene where we meet the children of characters in the film that we've spent the whole time with, and then these children, they look back on their parents and their history of their ancestry. And I've seen that in quite a few Brazilian films, especially from last year, like in I'm Still Here, that happened the same way, and a few other Brazilian films they like to have scenes like a prologue scene where they look at the past. And in this film, it was entertaining, but I just not really sure the prologue scene really added anything to the story. I give The Secret Agent 3.5 stars out of 5. I quite enjoyed this film. Wagner Moura in the lead role is very compelling, and the film is very interestingly structured. Once we get to the halfway mark for the film comes full circle, and all of the information that we've gathered, and all the characters and all the plot lines that we have absorb, really come full circle, and it's quite interesting. And that final act of the film, the final half of the film, is very, very chaotic and intense and very well staged. The film looks great as well, but just a little bit indulgent. There's a lot of like characters and plot lines that are not really necessary to the film. The film could have been a little bit shorter, but I still recommend checking out this film, The Secret Agent. Thanks for watching. What did you think of The Secret Agent? Please comment below what you thought of the film. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.